Lance, what's the best thing you guys have gained or achieved so far this spring, now that it's kind of nearing its end?
Well, I think, we've made some subtle changes on both sides of the ball. We're getting our newer players acclimated to what we're doing. I don't know if there's one consistent thing that we've continued to improve on. I think there's been a lot. I think we have a long way to go yet in some things. But I think the best thing, I think this group is very highly coachable and wanting to get better, and has gone about it in a way and approach that we really like.
On the flip side of that, just what do you continue to be most concerned about or feeling?
Well, I'm always concerned about something. We got to stay healthy. Just our consistency in live situations, retention of information. But I've learned finally, after 17 years of being a head coach, that to really try to balance what's happening in the spring by matchups, who's in. We lose a lot of guys early during the week to go to class. Matchups, sometimes it's, one side looks good, it might be because, and then the other side is struggling, but it could be based on some matchups of experience. So all those things are kind of, you keep it in, you balance, you take a look, but I can say each and every time we talk about it as a staff, our coaches are seeing improvement in certain areas. But there are some things, I think we have to find the right five up front in the offensive line. They're going to work well together and give us a chance to do the things that we want to do. And again, depth at linebacker continues to get better. And then our defensive end position, I think guys are going to show the ability to contribute there as well.
You mentioned staying healthy. Do you have an update on Deshaun Yannicka?
Yeah, Deshaun will be out for the rest of the spring with a leg injury, and he had surgery, and that's about as far as I'd like to go right now with that.
Who are you looking for then, just for the rest of spring, then to step up and take some of those reps that he was getting?
Well, again, Jared Casey and Trevor Cardell have played a lot of football here, so we're going to rely on them. Quentin Conley is a guy that'll get some more work, and Tavita Noah is a guy that's been in the program, and he'll get some of those reps. Dylan Munn's a true freshman walk-on, but he's been slowed down by injury. But then sometimes you get into personnel groupings and things that will continue to utilize our receiver core and others in those ways.
Lance, you mentioned the pass rusher. I think it was Panagos that said the other day, we asked that a couple years ago and Lonnie stepped up. We asked it last year and Austin stepped up. Is there a comfort in that hey, this is kind of a system that can produce guys if they get the chance? Yeah, I think at that position it's been a comfort, and who knows, I think Dean Miller's had a very good spring. Dylan Brooks has had a very good spring. And Dak Brinkley for early enrollee continues to get better each and every day. And I think we have others in that recruiting class that we'll be anxious to see. So again, we have emerged. I would say, I don't know where Austin's going to get drafted, but they keep saying it could be in the first couple days, and I don't think we stood here last year at this time thinking that would been the case. So we know we've got some things to get answered, but I'm very confident someone will rise to the occasion.
You mentioned the improved depth at linebacker. What do you see from Logan Brantley this spring?
Yeah, again, Logan's a young man who's got a ton of energy. He plays fast, and he's a physical linebacker. I think he'll give us more physicality there than maybe we had. But for him, it's a matter of consistency, and he understands that, and he's very coachable, taking the highs and the lows and kind of balancing those out. But he's willing to run around, and we can do some things with him that I think are going to give us a chance to keep a regular package on the field and still be able to do different things.
Lance, you lose Nowitzki. He's been a mainstay there. What's it look like at center?
Yeah, Shane Baumgartner, I think he continues to get better and more comfortable in this system. Our way of practicing everything, I think that's been probably the physicality of practice might be slightly different, let alone the pace of what we do. So, really excited to, see him finish this up, but also see what he does in August. But Mike Ford has shown, is really, I think, made more consistent improvement at center than even he was doing before when forced to play it. So again, that gives us the movable pieces to put the best five out there, and I think we'll continue to get to that point, I think that's it's a common thing in college football today is to make sure you can get to eight plus guys that can help you when injuries occur, and I think we'll be there.
If Ford moves to center, what do you like about the guards?
Yeah, Daryl Simmons is a guy that continues to learn as well. Kobe Baines, I think, has been very consistent this spring. Obviously Calvin's out for the rest of spring, but we're going to have some other pieces I think that we'll experiment with and continue to mix and match. DK Stearns has been out this week for a family emergency. He should be back today. And Nolan Gorsica, I think, is really Nolan's probably a guy, John, that really is kind of taking great leaps and bounds really since the Cincinnati game last year when he finally got his first extended playing time. I think it's really helped his confidence. He played some tackle in that game, but he's playing better at guard than he ever has before too. Again, that'll help us at that position, whether it be inside or out.
I saw there's another Leipold now coaching.
Yeah, as best we did to tell her what that's like sometimes. But, Kelly and I are awful proud of our daughter, Lindsay. And, of course, we love her dearly. And she talked about it. She'd had a job in athletic administration. And, I knew it might be trending when she said to me, Dad, I really miss being part of a team. And we'll see where it goes. Unfortunately, it's in the fall sport, and I don't get a chance to see it a lot. But again, it's the beginning, and she's getting it on the ground floor.
Hey, from minute one when you got here, it was obviously culture build was a big part of this. Mm-hmm. You've clearly done a lot of work in that area. A lot of that's here, right, in the facility around the practice field. How much do you talk to your guys about culture away from you and away from your coaching staff and just off campus and when they're at their dorms and together and things like that?
Well, we try to emphasize it all the time. You hold your breath in a lot of different ways, but it's refreshing, man, when you hear when you hear somebody, when you get a note or an email for somebody's actions in the community, in the classroom. We've talked about it before that I think one of the reasons we've been able to make the strides that we've had is the accountability in everything that they do, from classroom and attendance, take care of their business, acting right, giving back to our community. And we've talked about it, and we always say when you say about culture's action, and it's how you do and how you're perceived and how you go about it. And just like anything we do, we always can get better, but I think we do try to keep that at the forefront as well.
What have you seen from the early enrollees, freshmen?
It's been exciting to watch them continue to grow and get better, and I think that'd be even a better question about 10 days into camp too, because I think that's when you're really going to see the difference between them and the summer arrivals because of what they've learned, the confidence of what they've had to go through. But Isaiah Marshall, again, so poised, in what he does. Harry Stewart continues to show up each and every day. And I said Dak Brinkley continues to get better. Jalen Todd really started fast, and he's limited. He's not cleared for tackle situations right now. So that's kind of been we'll see how that goes. But we're excited about his future as well. So, and I know I keep forgetting others. So, but I'm happy with it. I think it's something we're going to continue to see in college football, whether good, bad, or indifferent, because it's not just about football, it's about mentally and moving away from home and all those things. And honestly, that's the next big piece of it as they get ready for what the fall will be like.
Talk to Coach Pangos about Javier Darrett a little bit. Just what have you seen from him during spring ball?
Again, early, I think the pace and some things what we do was a little shocking maybe, and just hard to get the feel for it because things aren't really happening fast, but I've really continued to see him get better as well and understand. That's a position that you're going to rotate during the game and stay fresh, and I think he's definitely going to be able to help us.
Would you say there's a competition at center, or are you just experimenting between Shane, Michael, and other people?
I think there's a competition, but it's not just at center. It's center and guard, I think, for us. I think there's competition in the offensive line. And again, not to be satisfied or comfortable because whether it be with the guards or, I always, I did it with Scott. I used to do it, Daryl, before even Scott at our last stops is, somewhere in fall camp, Daryl and I will go in his office and close the door, and I'll start asking questions about, okay, who's the first 5? How do you see the next, and I think our guys understand is that take the position you want, whichever one. If that starter gets hurt, but his backup, if you list your guys 1 through 10 is the 10th best at the moment, is that the guy that you go out on the field? Or do you have movable pieces that takes number 6 and puts him at his natural position and one of those starters moves out, things like that. So I think wherever we're at, that competition for the best depth possible is what we'll strive for, always have, and I think we'll get there.
What are you looking to see on Friday night at the Spring Showcase?
You want it to be sharp. I thought our last game, I think we've turned the ball over a little more than we want to at this. Last week, a lot sloppier in penalties, so we need to be cleaner. I want to see us tackle well, and I want to see us execute in such a way on both sides of the ball that you feel good. Now, we're still going to we have 2 more practices. We picked this day for the showcase, but that, as I told the team, we're still going to maximize our 2 other practices with regular practices. So I want to see us take another step, get in front of people, and sometimes it'll be a first time some of them have been in front of a crowd, or a crowd of, hopefully it'll be a nice crowd, and they'll see what they can do so-called under pressure. And most importantly, I want us to come out of it healthy.
Is there any bonus to playing at that place? You're going to have to get used to playing somewhere else when the season rolls around too.
Yeah, I think anything. I think I've said this. I could not be more proud how this team has handled the inconveniences in which they're operating right now, which shows they can persevere through a lot. And as long as you don't make it a big deal, they've handled it. We've practiced at 3 different locations, and they'll continue to do that because we are going to have to adapt in some ways, and hopefully that prepares us for some of those things. And it was a nice. We were out there last Saturday. I enjoyed being out there, and again. We talked about a lot of things in our program from the administration, but to have coaches that'll cooperate with us as well and allow us to kind of be in their facilities and things it really says a lot, and we appreciate it.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, everyone.